Sergey, just how are you? What do you want people to think of when they think of you and the Detroit Red Wings?
We're starting from a very easy question. Uh, for me, hockey it's a team sport. Always will be since I grew up. Since I tried first time. So I like to think. People will think I'm a team guy. I can come through at the key moments and play different positions except goalie. And I hope they enjoyed it while that was happening.
Sergey, you walked us through the last time you were here, the moment that Chris called you, and you said you were
Yes.
shocked at the point.
Definitely.
What left you shocked? You're a Hall of Famer. A lot of people in this town believed your number should have been there. Why were you shocked when he called you?
Well, because we talk for 5-7 minutes about families, what are you doing, where are you at, and it was just friendly conversation. And I was with the team at the training camp, so I was gonna go on the ice in 10 minutes. So obviously I was thinking more a little bit about practice, but I know Chris will say something, but that type of news was not expected.
Sergey, on a night like tonight with so many emotions, back here,
Yeah.
on a night like tonight with so many emotions for you, what does it mean to have the fan support that you've had over the years with this team?
This is a sixth player on the ice when we play and trying to win first Stanley Cup for us. They loud, loyal, always there. They come to the games always to support us. And at times, I thought Joe might fall apart. That's how loud it was, especially in playoffs times. So, like I said, our fans were our sixth player on the ice. So we have advantage, always advantage, especially playing at home.
Hi, Sergey.
Hi.
Can you think back to when the Red Wings helped you, come here, just full circle moment? Do you think back to those early days in the book and a movie? And
Well, I have no second thoughts what I'm going to do. I just didn't know I will do it before the tournament. But things happen, and Red Wings officials asked me to leave before tournament. So I have no second thoughts, and I came to Detroit, never looked back. Not because I didn't like where I came from. It just, I knew I have to do something and make another step. Obviously, I had some information about Detroit, interesting in me playing for them. That was fun times because at 20, you don't know much about life. Sometime, even back then, before Red Wings, you get recognized, a little bit, become famous at some point, and hockey doesn't cut it outside of the rink. The decisions you make kind of falling on experience while you play the game has not to do with real life. When you leave your equipment, sticks, skates in a locker room and go out there in the real world. So last comment probably, I trust people that came to got me, and I was so excited and happy I couldn't sleep on the plane, even though we flew like red-eye overnight. 6 in the morning I was in Detroit. Never looked back. It was sunny, and I was very happy I made that step.
Sergey, as you've reflected over the years, how do you look back on the decision to leave Detroit as a player?
This is something I will address tonight, if you can wait a few more minutes. But kind of open up a little bit, point that you become famous at early age, and sometimes your decisions on the ice not going to help you in really life, really, to absorb with that intense schedule, or you just spend, before that point, to get to NHL Red Wings, you're still training 11 months out of the year. So basically, you're not a very experienced person outside of the hockey rink.
Sergei over here. Really nice to see you. Welcome back.
Very nice to see you.
I'm so very happy for you. This is
Thank you
a
very
great
much.
moment that you deserve.
Thank you.
This is kind of a two-pronged question,
Sure.
if you will. Take me to maybe 12-year-old Sergei Fedorov. What that little kid growing up thinking about a life in hockey would have thought of this moment and this honor surrounded by the people you will be surrounded by tonight.
At 12.
Yeah, or even whatever first age you really had a dream of playing hockey for your life.
This is how I like to answer. I had no idea at 12 years old what my dreams really are. All I know, I live up north. We had a great winters. We got a lot of ice time. We got a lot of snow. I'd be able to go to school 5 minutes to the ice rink, and back home. And I enjoy the weather. I enjoy playing fast sport on skates. I shovel a lot of snow before I play with the puck there. And I had a picture of the green line on my table, which is Igor Larionov, Sergei Makarov, Vladimir Krutov, Vyacheslav Fetisov, and Alexei Kasatonov. For some reason, I remember that, but I remember also, I don't know those guys. And in 3.5 years, I was practicing with them at Red Army facility. 12 plus 15.5, okay, 4.5 years, yeah. So 16.5, 17, I was at that training camp with legendary Viktor Tikhonov. Could not lift 60 kilos first year on the preseason. That's a true story. But next year, I gotta tell you, I was lifting everything. Tons and tons of weight.
Will it be emotional
Oh yeah,
tonight?
oh yeah. But I tell myself I'm not gonna soap. I may never recover.
Right here, Sergei.
Hi.
If you didn't wear number 91, was there a backup number that you were thinking about, or what number would you have worn, or what?
I love this question because as you heard what I was saying, I was going only forward. Alex McGinley, my fellow countryman, left in '89, took '89 in Buffalo. I left in 1990, didn't really like zero on my back. So I raced forward. I asked Red Wings and equipment manager, can I get 91? At a time, I already knew those big numbers only statue of a player like Wayne Gretzky can get. I don't know. The answer is I always look and feel and try to go forward.
Sergei, what would you say the greatest lesson that you learned playing under Scotty Bowman during your career was?
Greatest lesson. First of all, no matter how difficult or how things are going not your way, hockey-wise, Scotty always were calm, leveled, come to the locker room and talk to us without, if I may say, any panic in his voice. He just basically addressed the issue, what we have to get better at. That's one. On the bench, behavior. Nothing going on. No matter how bad we lose, no matter how good we play, it was the same manners. Because after a few seasons when we couldn't get a job done, in other words, win the cup, we understand one thing, it's all in our hands. And Scotty was just that kind of a person, obviously experienced person. He knew before the game if we're going to win or not. That's no doubt in my mind. Lately, I kind of analyzed that and come to that conclusion. And he was just sort of cool in a sense that he gave us so much belief, confidence, and guide us through by his demeanors when he came and speak to us. At any situation, bad or good.
Sergei, in the back here,
Yes.
when looking back at your time and your journey here, obviously it's so much bigger than material things, but when I look through throwback photos, things like the Corvette or other items stick out from your time here and enjoying that fame. I'm curious if there's anything you keep in your home that reminds you of Detroit or as your time as a Red Wing.
I got a lot of things actually at my house now from Detroit era and NHL career. Skates, gloves, helmets, few sticks, not many. Tried to buy a Corvette in Moscow. That's still my favorite car. But at the moment I got a family to take care of, so two-seater not gonna cut it. Otherwise I would have it. Burgundy, the same one.
Sergei,
Hi.
good to see you.
Let's see.
I know after you left, I think you still had a place here. You came here some summers in your office when you worked for Seska. You had a picture of you with the Illiches the night you won the Hart. As you got older, what did Detroit mean to you? How did your perspective change?
Short answer or long answer?
Long.
Okay, short. Detroit means home. Because my parents were still reside here. I always, my mind was here. I always tried to get back and spend as much time with them and live in the area. Detroit is home. Always been, no matter where I was. And when I landed, I swear to God, when I landed every time in Detroit, I feel at ease. I breathe differently, and I enjoy that feeling every time I landed. Detroit is home.
Sergei, how are you?
Great, thanks.
Following up on that, what does this mean to you to be immortalized in this way? And did you ever think this day would come?
If you don't mind, second part of the question, I don't think so. I was thinking too much about it. I heard people talking about, some friends, fans asking me about it. I said, if it's meant to be, time will come. But as far as what that means, it's the greatest honor team can do to a player who try to play every game hard out, and obviously being a part of the great teams who achieved those goals, which is Stanley Cups. Hi, Bob.
Sergei, you know, they say in life things happen for a reason. Now,
Yeah.
if this had happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, your kids wouldn't have got the chance to kind of see it and experience it.
Sure.
And obviously, they didn't get to see you play here.
Sure.
So this is kind of a way for them to maybe get a little understanding of what Detroit means to you and what you mean to Detroit. Does that kind of make this night even more special that you get to share it with your family?
Definitely more special with family and kids and my wife coming in. You got to start somewhere, obviously. Like I said, maybe late boomer as far as the family and kids, but I want to make sure I do one thing at a time, and I do it well. So when I was ready, thank God I met my lovely wife, and we become a family, have kids. It was a lot of fun still to this day. I don't mind they don't see me play live, but it is a lot of videos, a lot of other things. And they still have time to grow up because they're 8 and 9. They're watching everything but their dad's highlights. They watch Messi, Ronaldo, Ovi. I try a couple times. Let's watch, a few goals that your dad scored. And my son, okay, not much emotions going on. So your question doesn't just great. I hope they will have good time, and maybe later when we get back to Russia, they will ask some questions. Pop, why is that? So many people. What you were saying, even though they learn English in school and they're not bad, but they probably going to be a little bit afraid at the moment. You know, go on the ice, a lot of bright lights, hopefully cheers from the fans, and I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Sergei, two things. First, you still have the white skates, and who in today's game do you admire or reminds you of yourself?
Oh, great question. Well, if you can help me out, we leave the skates probably alone, but I enjoy watching guys who can skate fast, who can control the flow, who can handle the stick and puck at the same speeds. It's rare, but it does exist, and you know those players. I enjoy watching this because I catch my son watching over some highlights and videos of some goals. I'm like, what do you see? He goes, that was fast. So I catch myself that first step we made. And it's really fun to watch players like that.
Sergei, that night in
Hi, kid.
Helsinki a long time ago.
Yeah.
What do you remember from that night and walking away from that arena with the secret message in the media guide there?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts after you saw that message that the Wings wanted you to come to Detroit and help you play here?
It was exciting to get something like that book. I don't think so. I thought deeply about what's inside, and until I get to arena, I didn't really know what to expect. Plus, it was book in English, so I took my time, get quiet time, and then look. Tried to read a letter. It was hard, but some numbers and some zeros I really saw, and I guess kept my interest. When I get back to Russia, I translated it all. I didn't expect to receive anything. So I don't think so. I was deeply aware or thinking what might be coming with that book and letter, or what will come ahead of my time. What's next? Didn't think too much about it, to be honest with you. Need more information.
Sergei, when you first pulled on the white Nike skates, did you know that they would become so iconic and in some ways define your career? And what do you make of the way that they've kind of taken on a life of their own?
I think it's the hardest question tonight, to be honest with you, because as a player, here's a little story. First few pairs were so soft, I barely can turn or stop on a dime or just skate because they were so soft. So I had to work with the Nike production. That was real Nike skate. They felt great. They felt like any sneakers. But as far as stiffness of the boot, that was a problem for a couple months. But once we get it going, you're happy just to wear some product that really help you to be better at what you do. Honestly, it's hard to think about some iconic stuff, which is, it's a great question, no doubt, but if I say I enjoy the way they were designed, because I did not had an input in design. I only had input like inches, how high has to be boot, how strong, what we're gonna use it for the cap, make sure they light. And everything else was just fine by me, as long as they fit me and they've been light and I'll be able to perform and don't think about what on my feet. But now, it's amazing. It's amazing feeling, and I'm honored, proud. I've been part of it. Thank you.